I'm the Tues.
Welcome to the Tues Down. Welcome.
I'm the Tues.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the Tues Down. Party time. Welcome to the Tues Down. It is Monday, and what's up, person? How you doing? I see you already. Person impersonator is the first person in here today, and let me tell you, what a weekend it was in America. And you know, despite all of the things that everyone's been talking about, we're going to talk about it here today. And by we, I mean the esteemed, the wonderful, some people call him gorgeous. It's Mikey Famine, y'all. What's up, Mike?
Greetings, fellow Earthlings. I stole this cup from my wife, and she can't do shit. This is her Pizza Planet cup from Toy Story, and I took it. And there's little green men on it. And it's mine, and you can't do shit.
You can't do nothing about it. You got to
I took your cup, which is green on the inside, which is why I wanted to see what it would look like.
Someone said they saw. Oh, Sheldon. He saw burning cars. There have been. Also, yeah, at any point in time, if we need a reference for anything, Mikey, feel free to use whatever controls you have over there or put it in the chat, and we'll throw it up too.
The burning cars is from my thumbnail. Is when Elon's Teslas got set on fire. I just took a screenshot for, like, you know, for later.
Yo, what's up, Sko? Let's go ahead. Let's do a roll call real quick so we can get this out the way. Person impersonator says woot woot.
Hey, person.
Obviously, the Ben Podcast Network.
Hey, look at them.
What's up, Bensters? Person, what's up, person? Passport Sko is in the building. What's up, Passport Sko?
Sko, what up?
More person, woohoo. Sheldon said he saw burning cars. Soft Rain is in the building. What's up,
Hi, Soft Rain?
Passport Sko. Mikey, what's up, my boy? What's good?
Air horns.
I don't have air horns.
I can hook you. I can hook you up.
Thank you. Person impersonator. Oh no, the cup that was handed down from the great grandmother. And then we got Weez.
The claw gave her this cup.
What's up, Weez? How you doing? It's good to see you in here. Look, guys, Passport Skull. What's good, man? Let's actually fix that because that was the last show, and it was supposed to be gone. So let's fix this one right now, and let's fix that. This is our problem.
And for everybody who's not familiar with me, I might have to run out of here because I have a toddler and she is convinced that hurting herself is the only way to grow up big and strong. So I have to continually stop her. So I just dash out of here is because she's doing something unsafe and I have to stop her.
It do be like that sometimes.
Or attacking my TV, which does happen. And we ain't got an initial economy. We ain't got money for no TV. You better leave that TV. Stop hitting the TV with blocks. But
it doesn't hit back. So, without further ado, we're going to start today off by talking about the fact that, you know, an NBA game was canceled.
Was it the weather?
I don't think it was the weather, but I think that there may have been some ice.
Target Center. We are heartbroken by the tragic loss of Alex Pretty that occurred yesterday in Minneapolis. We extend our love, support, and heartfelt sympathies to Alex's family, friends, and our community during this difficult time. Please join us in honoring the life and memory of Alex Pretty with a moment of silence.
Careful about playing the NBA. They'll copyright us.
That's all they needed for that one.
I was like,
that was the end. So we got the moment of silence. The Minnesota Timberwolves and Golden State Warriors honored Alex Pretty in a moment of silence because he had been slain by an ICE agent in Minneapolis this weekend. And I mean, let's go to the clip so we can get into it immediately. Let's just go straight to the clip. We're gonna dive right in, guys. Not wasting no time today.
What's going on, Tristan?
Lily, this was the plan.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, actually, yes, it is. There we go.
Today to bring you these 3 games on ABC. Knicks and Sixers, Warriors and Timberwolves, Lakers and Mavericks. We've gotten word from the NBA that the game in Minnesota will not be played today.
Pause.
Here we go. I want to say, Mike, you want to read this for us?
I was about to say, ESPN's owned by Disney now. Be very careful.
Oh, yeah.
The mouths don't play.
We just want this guy right here.
All right. The statement says the National Basketball Association game scheduled for today between the Golden State Warriors and Minnesota Timberwolves at Target Center has been postponed. The decision was made to prioritize the safety and security of the Minneapolis community. The game was rescheduled for tomorrow, January 25th, which happened last night, at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time at Target Center.
So what we just saw a few minutes ago was the tribute that they did, and there were a lot of people that were upset about the tribute. They were upset that the NBA decided to honor this quote-unquote criminal.
Then leave. Leave the country. That's what I get told all the time. If you don't like something, just pack up all of your shit and leave. They did a memorial for her and him. And you don't like it? Leave the state. Move to Texas. Move to Florida. Move somewhere. Move to Indiana. Move. You don't have to. Hey, you don't have to take that. You don't have to take them memorializing, VA ICU nurses. You don't have to take that kind of abuse. Just leave.
That's all they got to do, right?
Just take all your shit, put it in a boat, and just float out in the middle of the ocean. And then that way you don't have to deal with any other people. Just leave. Just be a pirate. Just go live out on the open seas. And that way no horrible death can cloud your day because you're so precious.
Here, Mikey, can you recap and walk us through what happened in the situation?
For the last one?
Yes.
So ICE was detaining someone in the middle of the road and people were recording them with their phones. And as they're recording, ICE agents become aware of their presence, decide to shove one of the women that were there into the snowbank. And a man tried to assist her up to her feet. And they were both pepper sprayed. He's still trying to pick her up. There you go. He's still trying to pick her up. And
I'm going to slow this down so we can actually see this in where you can break this down for us while we're here. Let's just go down to half speed. That's enough.
Okay, so this is after. So he's already on the ground. And then there's the woman that they were also pepper spraying. So there's 6 agents on the one guy. They see he has a holstered gun on his back right hip. The gun is removed from him, and then another officer shoots him in the back while he's being restrained with his arms in front of him. And immediately after, DHS and the Trump administration called this guy a domestic terrorist, said that he brandished the weapon, that he tried to massacre as many law enforcement officers as he possibly could. Only problem with that is there's absolutely zero evidence to back up anything that the federal government has said about the issue. Everybody saw it with their own eyes. Several different cell phone cameras have come out. It didn't happen the way that they're saying it happened. They are actively covering it up. They will not let the Minnesota, I think that's called the BCA. It's kind of like an internal, like each state has its own like FBI, but it might be like the GBI for Georgia or something like that. So they tried to get their investigative forces on it, and they're being blocked out. They wouldn't let them contain the crime scene. Who knows where that agent is? I have a good guess.
I'm so tired of seeing this lady.
No, not Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia. Don't you say I'm tired of seeing this lady and put Cynthia up there. How dare you?
No, not Cynthia.
We're sorry, Cynthia. He didn't mean that. Trying to get me beat up. Get me dragged out by my ear. Hi, everyone. So yeah, talk to me. They're fine. They're fine over there. Those are all binsters anyway. They're fine.
Here's the question that I have. At what point do we American citizens start to say that this is an issue when we got the brown shirts running around in our neighborhoods?
I thought we already were on that time.
So did I.
I thought we were on that time already, but
you know, the Minnesota's mayor, as well as several members of law enforcement, including the chief of police, have all stated that they do not need, and would hope that the president would withdraw. Sorry, those too many W's in a row. would
George W.
from Minneapolis and Minnesota as a whole. This is concurrent with Illinois and a few other states as well as California, who have also, and New York. They do not want them there. So there are laws, to the best of my knowledge, including the 10th Amendment, that guarantee a certain degree of separation between the federal government and state sovereignty.
Mm-hmm.
And if the people who govern the state do not want something that the federal government is trying to impose on them, especially law enforcement or the National Guard, they can reject it.
Right.
So, Mikey, why are they still there?
I mean, the rule you're referencing is called posse comitatus, which means I get to control my land, right? Essentially, I'm the governor. I'm the leader of this sovereign state. These people voted for me. I am their representative. I am their chief executive. They could put up an ordinance tonight, get a city council meeting tonight, and say if you're in ICE or if you have a mask on in public, you're due to be arrested. And then the cops have every permission structure to execute that ordinance. That is a law. That is the law of the city. If they're wearing a mask, if you're wearing camouflage and a mask, that's against our city ordinance. Sorry, you got to come with me. Lock them up. Lock them up.
Right.
We have I mean, most of these people are from jail anyway because they're J6ers. They just got out from doing some domestic terrorism.
So you mean to tell me that people who are just locked up are now masquerading as law enforcement?
Oh yeah, with guns.
With guns. So would you think that the people who recklessly stormed the nation's capital in an act of treason are suited to be law enforcement officers?
Look how well it's going. I mean, with all of the bluster, all the hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars spent, they still haven't caught up to the deporter in chief himself, Obama. So even the bluest, wokest, soy boyest figure that they can think of way out deported him because they just deported
by the
people
thousands
because it was people at job sites. And then the owner of the job site would get his comeuppance as well. Or it's people, they just go to the jail and they get the people who, when their sentence is done, it's like, oh yeah, and by the way, you're not actually a citizen. You're not allowed to break the law if you're not a citizen. So you got to go back anyway. But they will let them finish their jail sentence and then just grab them when the jail sentence was over. That's what the process has been. That's
what it always was.
I mean, we have
a jail sentence because you broke a law in the country.
Right.
And then they would deport you after.
I mean, what kind of craziness is it? Like, imagine if, trying to think. Hold on. I don't want to say nobody's actual name here. So let me, John Smith. John Smith is in Portugal. John Smith is in Portugal. He's an American citizen. Hold on. Pay attention. Follow me.
I got you.
So John Smith goes to Portugal, commits a bunch of sexual assault. Bunch of horrid crimes. So what MAGA is trying to get me to understand is they want Portugal to just teleport him back to the United States without anything. Just drop him off at the airport and let him do whatever the hell he wants. Is that what I'm getting? You want to not punish people for crimes that they should be in American jails if they commit crimes here.
Right.
So what's the problem?
Right.
So if they're not in jail already, it's almost like they didn't do anything yet. unless we're locking people up for stuff that they could do in the future.
Are you telling me that that due process is suspended?
I mean, if they did something to get in jail, they would be in jail. And then once their prison or jail sentence, I mean, it might be like 6 months or something. But yeah, once that's over, they're like, oh yeah, you can't stay now, man. And no one has a problem with handing those people over to Immigration and Customs. No one has a problem with that.
They never have.
Going door to door saying, I think he's in here.
Well, I mean, they got granted by somebody the permission to do warrantless break-ins.
Try it.
They're being in people's houses right now.
Try it.
There's video of them going in people's houses without warrants.
That's what they're doing right now. They are rolling a D20.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? That's Sheldon, a terrible idea. And
this doesn't need to be a bill. This doesn't need to be a bill. I understand why it is, but this doesn't need to be a bill because there's already a law that states that federal agents have to identify themselves.
Right, but they're not doing that. So I need to make up something for my city, for my state, so that I can arrest these people for breaking. The law of the land is the law of the land. The laws in Georgia, the laws in Texas, the laws in Illinois, they're all different because the citizens of that state have voted and elected people to vote in their stead or represent them. That is their constitution. Each state has its own constitution.
Hey, Sonny.
Hey, Sonny.
Each state has its own constitution because each state is a sovereign entity inside of the union.
So if my city, if my state makes a sanctuary city law or no purple pants on Tuesdays law, as long as it doesn't violate the Constitution, there isn't anything anyone, if you're in Indiana, if you're in Tennessee, it doesn't matter if you're in another state and you're mad about it. Number one, it's none of your business because you don't live there.
Right.
And number two, if you want to change that, then you need to get Minnesota or Illinois or California to change their state constitutions. There's a mechanism to do what they want. They just are deciding not to do that. And they're just going to violate the U.S. Constitution to violate someone's state constitution.
Yes. So they're breaking
and the license plate flipping too, like swapping out license plates. Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Or taking them off. Are you kidding me?
You get rammed by a Toyota Tundra or a Nissan Titan, or worse, a Nissan Murano. Like you're like, am I getting hit with a minivan?
A Nissan Juke, the worst of the worst.
He said so. The U.S. is a dysfunctional version of the EU.
Correct.
Thanks, Tim. I think the local police were not arresting ICE because they were concerned Trump would send in more outside forces.
They can get locked up too. We got space. And I'm telling you, once you lock up the first 100, you ain't gonna have to worry about it after that.
So states can block the feds. They just get sanctioned, which is what Texas does all the time.
Minnesota's got money. Don't worry about that.
Minnesota has plenty of money.
They'll be okay. They'll work it out.
So again, this is a problem for Black people too, right? This isn't just illegal immigrants, the other brown folks that are in the country. This is a problem for Black people too. Because historically, anytime they successfully went after someone else, who do they target next?
I'm sorry. Can you put up PC's thing?
Yeah, I got you.
Pragmatic Crystal, thank you so much. Ridiculous. U.S. state laws, including banning ice cream in backpacks in Alabama, Georgia, and Kentucky, requiring pickles to bounce in Connecticut, prohibiting sleeping in cheese factories, South Dakota, and banning donkey-filled bathtubs. I mean, is there any space for freedom left?
No. If you're in the military, it's against the USCMJ to have to do anything other than missionary.
Oh, that's...
If you are active duty military, anything other than missionary is technically against the law. Even with your wife.
Some laws are meant to be broken.
So all blue states have money. It's only the red states that leech off of the blue states.
I mean, Texas has some money because they have all that oil and stuff like that. And I mean, but their cattle ranchers has really taken a hit. That screwworm really screwed up our beef, really messed it up.
Chris C has this question. Why is ICE only targeting northern states? I think the reason is if they tried that with the southern states, they would get their asses handed to them.
No, we would be putting spackle in the holes in their ass because trespassing on someone's property and then I'm going to open your door and cross the threshold. Brother, you got the whole NRA salivating. Those are the magic words. You never do that. Even if you're like knocking on someone's door or something like that, it is the prudent thing to do to knock on the door and back the fuck away to show them that you're not a threat.
Right. Because if you're not backing away, that means you're a threat, right?
All right, I didn't have to run.
So I got a little short video. We're gonna play part of this, and then we'll move on in a bit. Let's hear it from this guy.
Folks have been warning us
for
a long time. And people not only haven't listened, but even with what's going on, people still don't want to listen. And I think this is a conversation that goes a lot deeper than even just the context of political discourse that surrounds us in America. This is a global phenomenon. But I want to start right here in the homeland, right here in the imperial core, because for one, I think Renee Good would want this to be talked about. I think the folks that have been suffering the brunt of state violence, which we are now becoming more and more unruly against, those folks would want this to be talked about the real way. Before I get into it, I just want to say I'm on break right now, so this is not the most organized type of conversation that I've, had, just giving some thoughts while I am currently away from home. And I'm doing so off the cuff and in reaction to recent news. I don't think I need to remind you of that recent news. Of course, American imperialism in Latin America and Africa comes to mind, in Asia comes to mind. Of course, European imperialism comes to mind. Shout out to Norway. Norway gets away with a lot. It's also
Norway does.
The American Gestapo, the ICE shootings, multiple plural shootings and killings that have occurred, not just the videotaped incident in Minnesota, but in several incidences over the past years, with special attention being brought toward it right now. And of course, I want to say that I'm glad that more and more people are becoming aware, getting more politically engaged, getting more outraged. But outrage can only do so much. If your outrage is reduced to anger that you take out online and catchphrases that you sling around and one or two little protest walks, that outrage is more so in service of your own ego than it is in service of the wider community that we're trying to help. And this is something that we've all had to kind of learn, isn't it? It's a recurring story. We've had decades and decades of protest movements that have borne this thesis out. All that said, one of the phrases that we're seeing all over the place in response to the shooting of Renee Good is, that could have been any one of us. And not wrong, especially harrowing, when it's the murder of a U.S. citizen, a law-abiding U.S.
I said this about Trayvon Martin. That could have been my kid. Mikey, you remember when it happened? You remember what I said, don't you?
No.
That could have been my kid. That could have been my son. That could have been my brother. That could have been my cousin. That could have been any one of us. And it continues. Look at what was the kid's name that got shot in the next to the park? He had a toy gun and the police just started spraying him.
Tamir Rice.
Yeah, Tamir Rice. So before I continue there, I gotta ask, has it been quite a while since us black folk have been talking about the unlawful killing of unarmed people, or even people who are unarmed but not posing a threat?
Colin Kaepernick, anyone?
What happened with Colin Kaepernick?
They commercially lynched him for daring to take a knee during the national anthem.
He hasn't thrown another
respectful gesture that he learned from a veteran, because sitting down could be perceived as disrespect. So he decided to take a knee to show that he wasn't just sitting on his ass; he was actually taking a knee. So
for reference points for non-sports people, I am a football player. I have been playing for most of my life. And the first thing that every coach tells you to do,
I played NFL Blitz, so it's like the same. I played NFL Blitz on N64, so it's like the same. We got like the same experience.
I'll allow it.
We have the same level of experience, I think.
Every coach, to show reverence, every coach tells you, take a knee to show reverence. take a knee to listen. Take a knee to show that you are submitting to my leadership and my guidance. So Colin Kaepernick does exactly what everyone said that he should do, and that's take a knee. How did taking a knee become a symbol of disrespect in this country? Or was it the fact that the person doing it just happened to have a giant afro?
No, we can't do froze in the knee. You can't have the combo. No, no combos. No combo attacks. You can only do one of the. If he would have shaved his head and took a knee, it would have been fine. But you can't have that pro-black afro out there.
So just for reference purposes, before we continue, black people have been talking about people getting, offed by law enforcement for a while, right? And what they always told us was, had to been doing something wrong, had to be guilty of something. What did he do? What did she do?
And the wild part is, then the videos started coming. Like, I think Mike Brown was like the last one that wasn't literally on a cell phone camera, like literally documented. But I mean, there was probably
that, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there was probably 50, 60 people shot and killed by police on camera. And they just told us to, hey, yo, I get it. This is wrong, but I need to get to work.
I had a shirt with over 150 names on it.
I need to get to my brunch on time, and your little protest slowed me down for 5 minutes. So I would be on board with y'all if you just protested the right way.
Hey, slow down and put your cigarette out, Sandra Bland.
I mean, she should have just why didn't she just put the cigarette out? Why can't you just?
You're driving a vehicle on a public road.
I mean,
that's legally registered.
But I'm supposed to believe that she hung herself in a jail cell with nothing in it. Okay.
No speeding ticket. You had insurance. No moving violations. You're a teacher and a professor at a college.
Well, the thing is, they said she made an illegal U-turn. If there's just a double yellow line and there's a break in the double yellow line, like a intersection, it's just proceed safely. It's not against the law. Like, they just make stuff up.
Determined that she did not break any laws to even get a traffic stop.
You want to follow her around, and then he's like, oh, she's trying to get away from me. She must be doing something. You can't do that. No, she could do that, and you're just trying to justify your hunch. And there's a lot of hunch. What is it called? Hunch apologists out there, where they think if the cop has a hunch, then we all should just go along with whatever the hunch was. It's not the hunch enforcement.
What's the hunch usually? What's it? What's reasonable doubt usually spurred by?
You mean internal bias? That's a hunch. Your hunch is your internal biases. That's what that is. The way that they smell bad, so I'm gonna keep an eye on him, or
they look funny or wrong. Yeah, looked like he was doing something wrong.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Catholic Church going crazy. Ain't nobody said a word. Millions of dollars in payouts going out. Ain't nobody said a word. But we're gonna chase these black dudes all over town. You forgot to signal within 100 feet. Bitch, do you see a ruler out here? How the hell am I supposed to know if it's 100 feet? I close enough. 3 clicks. I do 3 clicks. What you want from me?
Right. So we hear a little bit more from this man.
Citizen, despite what the party wants you to believe about her conduct. But it also could have been us when it was Philando Castile.
The system continues to fail black people, and they will continue to fail you all. Like I said, because this happened with Philando, when they get done with us, they're coming from you, for you, and all your interracial children. Y'all are next, and you'll be standing up here fighting for justice just as well as I am. I am so disappointed in the state of Minnesota. My son loved this state.
It could have been us when it was the wide variety of victims of state-sanctioned violence. Black.
Why is Minnesota so commonly happening with all of this stuff? So I find this funny because for the last couple of years, it has been the Minnesota police, municipal police, against the rest of everybody else. Now, even the Minnesota police are like, hey, they out of line.
Because they fired all of those people. They have a new chief. They've been really actually working to build back trust with the community. after the murder of George Floyd. They've been actively trying to get their act together, listening to the people, not doing all this crazy hunch enforcement, but actually trying to be good police officers.
Yes.
It's not even a year and a half into their new program. Here it is come. Here it is come.
Yes. Like it's ridiculous.
Men and women, Black trans folks, Black queer folks who have consistently been martyred only for no large social media movement, no large political organizing rally to be conducted in response, at least one that, let's say, breaks color lines.
Last week, a man named Keith Porter was killed by an off-duty ICE agent, but you probably haven't heard his name. And while part of that may be because of the ICE agent being off-duty rather than on-duty with a large crowd, we also know the biggest reason why this exists. Keith Porter is a Black man, and Black men, Black women that get killed by agents, officers, don't get the same amount of national attention. Many people online have been very angry at me and other Black people for saying not to use the phrase "say her name" when it comes to Renee Good, and this is part of the reason. It has taken 7 days for the average person, and not even the average person, but for people online to find out about Keith Porter, while most people across the country know who Renee Good is within 24 hours. Within 24 hours, people have started marching for her. They have been sharing the stories of her families. They have been talking about her, sharing posts of her, memorializing her, making sure that she is known. Meanwhile, Keith Porter's family, they've been struggling to get into the news cycle. They've been struggling to have any conversation. And the same defense that ICE agents are using to justify killing Good is the same defense they're using for justifying killing Porter. They say that he had a weapon and that he pointed it at them first, despite the fact that nobody on the scene concurred that, aside from the officer who shot him. These are the conversations.
One of my favorite people, I was so happy that she agreed to come onto the Ben Network for a couple of episodes. Legal scholar, Ike Shabazz Whitaker. Ike taught me something in like 2014, 2015, because I was watching her reels on Facebook. Black people, and now all people, I will share the same wisdom. You need to manage your expectations. Are your expectations reasonable? Are they possible? Are they likely? If some of that is no, then you need to prep yourself ahead of time to stop being disappointed when the disappointing keeps happening to you. It's you at this point. Stop expecting them to do something that they cannot do. Until other parts of this system are dismantled, you are wasting your time getting upset about it. Stop being mad. Stop being enraged. Start running for Congress. Start running for city council. Because, you know, when I get on the mic and I want to do a podcast or something like that, we're giving you the ideas. We'll give you the policy. Get your butt in the seat so we can pass an ordinance. So that if you flip your, take your tags off of your truck to hide your ICE truck, well, that's a state crime. That'll be what's today? Yeah, you'll get out in 2028, January 20th. You'll get out January 20th, 2028. That's what's needed. But they're doing this to enrage you. Will you let them? Or will you win? That's the question.
That is the question. What's up, Tons of Ice? Nice to see you.
That we need to be having. It's not divisive to ask you to use language that matters. It's not offensive to ask you to consider how you're speaking about an issue, because part of the reason why fascism is happening now in the United States is because certain groups of people have never had to care this much.
How did we let it get so bad? Do you know who could have warned you? Kwame Jones, William Howard Green, Jackeen O'Neal Light, Leonard Parker Jr., Carl Grant, Reginald Payne, Manuel Ellis, Barry Geddes, Donnie Sanders, Breonna Taylor.
These are lived realities for Black folks in the United
States.
He's still
reading names.
And we often take that.
He's still reading names. And so we're going to segue a little bit. We're going to stay on the same topic of the subject. He's still reading names. And so this is the issue that I'm having. And this is one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk about this today. It isn't just that we can point out that someone got offed by the police or ICE, who, in my opinion, aren't police. They're not.
No, they're not peace officers.
You know, they're not. You know, they're not regular Leos. They're not peace officers. They're not municipal police. But here they are roaming the streets, trying to spout off wrong violations that people may or may not have committed. They can't even write tickets, if you guys didn't know this. They can't even write parking tickets or traffic tickets.
For with Renee Good, the only thing that they actually could have done at that moment was call the police and tell them to give her a ticket. They can't even write her a ticket for being in the road sideways. They need to call somebody. Usually they have law enforcement backup, but when you show up unannounced because of a YouTube video and a dementia-riddled president, then nah, we ain't working with you.
Shout out Souls. What's up, Souls? I see you in here. Miss LB is in here too. Chris is in here. Everybody's in here. I'm gonna miss some shout outs, but it's all good. We got to keep it moving. So
they know they're left.
Where I'm going with this, all over the content creation spaces, I have been talking to different groups of people of different races, creeds, and ethnicities about what's going on in the country that we all reside in. This is where we live, right? We live here. So if we live here and people are getting murdered, then this is our problem too. Hey, Mikey, if you have $5 million and you still live in the United States, is this your problem?
Mm-hmm.
If you have $5 and you live in the United States, is this your problem?
Same size.
Uncle Plug says, but they will point the finger and say, y'all don't care about y'all. You got to reform, because I didn't really get who's y'all, which y'all.
I mean, I'm guessing he can clarify though. I'm guessing because they were always quick to throw out my favorite white supremacist myth: black on black crime. They just kill each other, so what does it matter if the police do it? Oh, okay. It's hilarious that that's a talking point when white people kill white people at the exact same rate.
You know, it's funny.
And Mexicans kill Mexicans at the exact same rate. It is proximity, dude.
It's your own demographic.
Right.
That's crime across the world, not the United States, not the EU, not South America, not Australia. Is if you're around people, the odds of you committing a crime against the people that you're around the most is very high.
No, I only get into, fights with my neighbors that turn deadly when my neighbor lives 500 miles away. Like, it's as segregated and redlined as this country is, for them to try to use differences in racial crimes is stupid, because it's literally, I mean, look at the prisons. If look at the prisons,
they are disproportionately brown,
but the crime is the same. So what are we talking about?
We'll address this right before we move forward. The Department of Homeland Security has arrested more than 200, I hate this phrase, illegal aliens in the past 5 days. Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin has announced.
Yeah,
I don't believe any of their numbers.
They're full of shit. What is his title? Some sort of prosecutor for Minnesota, and he 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning had to put out a statement because DHS is saying that they took 1,300 people. He's like, we had 300 people that were already in jail, and then they had ICE detainers, so they were going to get handed over to ICE. They came and got them. That was 300 people. I don't know where the extra 1,001 people. So even when the shit is handed to them, they lie. Even when it's obvious, and the guy is sitting right there with the paper, like real Poindexter, kind of like, well, I don't really I'm not sure where they got that number for, but we didn't have that many people. They're just making shit up. They'll just make it up.
In the chat, it says, so what's your stance on short form without race?
Short form? What do you mean?
We'll come back to it. Uncle Plug said blacks and browns are everywhere in every state and every country. Yes, they are. Sons of Mike says, I've done almost everything I could to go to prison, but so far no dice.
He ain't lying.
I can't independently verify this right now, but Sheldon said Dems just voted for $60 billion for ICE.
Yeah, the current spending bill in the House. So to get the ACA stuff for everybody's health insurance, they stuffed $60 billion extra dollars for ICE in the same thing. And it was like, either you want people to not have health care or you want to give us even more money to do this even more. And I'm fairly certain they're just pocketing that shit.
I mean, they're paying them lots of money.
No. They haven't been paid yet. Right?
Oh.
Like that. They're talking about, oh, I'm going to get this salary. They've only been in for a couple of months. So they've only paid these fools a little bit of money. What's up? Krusty Gnome? Krusty the Clown? Krusty is doing all these advertisements. She spent $100+ million on ads to recruit for ICE. Bro, tell me why the brother-in-law is the dude in charge of the contracts. I'm like, yo, they're just stealing. They stealing. Like, in a short response without race, what's your stance? On what? That was the what?
Yeah, you got a stance on what? Crime? I can't answer for you.
No, Sko. This is a Tons of Mice exclusive.
He said that's Uncle Plug says it's almost impossible to talk about this without talking about race. Asshole, get out of here. We says, yeah. Okay, so Soul says, so each side are doing the same thing, right? We found out where our money went the last 4 years. He said, what's your stance on ICE without using race?
I mean, ICE is new. ICE didn't exist before 9/11 because the Department of Homeland Security didn't exist before 9/11. So this isn't something that we've had for our entire lives. Before ICE, it was INS, and that was Immigration Nationalization Service. I don't know. I forget what the acronym stands for. Yeah. But INS was before all this. And they would go to employers, they would go to jails, that was the enforcement. And under that enforcement, and then with the addition of ICE, Obama deported way more people, but we never had this, you know what I'm saying, mugs running down the street in camouflage with their faces masked. The fact that they're doing this way is subterfuge. This is not legal. They have never needed. No, bro. See, as long I got laundry on the 12th. I don't even know.
Listen, chat, y'all gonna stop trying to get our clothes. Every episode, somebody is trying to steal one of our outfits.
Or we should probably just take the hint and make merch.
Roxy said, Uncle Plug has the weakest stance they could ever be taken, but they always bring it to the forefront. People should care about people. Race doesn't matter. That's what it looks like. Get yourself a Robin. Oh, that's not for us. You guys can take care of him in there. Let me. All right. So, once again, if I approach you and we're talking about this, and the first thing that I do is start throwing at you white supremacist talking points, i.e., black people commit the most crime and therefore have the most jail time.
Let me see your PayPal. Let me see your recent PayPal.
In response to Mikey, so it's about how they are doing it, not who's doing it.
There is a need, like, again, I don't know if you were here for the Portugal example. There is a need for people who commit crimes to serve their time for the stuff that they do. I'm not against that. And if people are here when they're not supposed to be here, that's fine. But the conflation of like just this blanket statement of like illegal aliens and all that stuff, they've been saying that about people who literally had their court dates. Y'all remember that? They were literally in court, and then the judge got reprimanded because she's like, just go out the back door, because these people are asylum seekers. And two quick seconds. Sorry, there's a cat here trying to eat its way into my computer.
So are refugees no longer a thing that we are harboring in the United States?
Not anymore. We have the only refugees America is taking right now, and I'm not making this up, is white Afrikaner South Africans.
Are we done with the Ukrainians?
Yeah. He repealed it. Like he deported people back to the war zone.
Yes, they're still at war.
So real quick on the asylum thing. So if you guys remember World War II, very bad, mustache guy, concentration camps, the whole thing. Well, before that happened, right before that happened, a lot of Jews begged to come to America to hide and to get away from them. And America said, we might actually side with the Nazis, so we're not actually going to say anything. We're not actually going to do anything. And then the Holocaust happened. So since then, we have said, if someone comes to our land, if you get here and you say, please help me, I'm under attack, I'm being persecuted, I need refugee status, I need to seek asylum here. It's not a problem. The Republicans have been firing all of the judges so that we have 700 immigration judges to deal with all of the immigration for the entire country.
Don't forget about the federal government and hiring firing the feds, the agents that were in the field for the last 20 years.
I think since Trump's got in, I think the last number was like 25. They've removed 25 immigration judges. So I'm going to land the plane here. So we have asylum laws on the books. So when that migrant wave came in, what was it, 2018 or something like that? A lot of those people sought asylum because they were from, drum roll please, Venezuela. Remember, Venezuela's bad.
Venezuela.
Maduro's bad, right?
We have their president and his wife.
He's a horrible person, right? So these people fled Maduro, sought asylum here, and there was so many of them that there was a backlog. So instead of putting these people in state-paid housing, they said, do you have somewhere to go? They say yes. Okay, will you work or can you work? And they say, yeah, I can work. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get you close to Social Security number. You're going to pay taxes, and you're going to show up to these immigration meetings whenever we say. It's like every 2 or 3 months or something like that. You need to come to these appointments and check in, and you need to pay your taxes. And when it's time for your asylum case, we're going to get to you. But in the meantime, work for yourself, feed yourself. We're not going to house you. You're on your own. No health insurance, none of that stuff.
What effect do you feel blacks will have from this since we have to use race? So I'm slow, so I'm asking and seeking understanding.
Okay. I was almost done. But that's why there's all these asylum seekers here, and Trump is throwing out the asylum seekers. That's why this is bullshit. They were literally following the rules, and then they changed the rules on them halfway through the game because he just doesn't like brown people, and it doesn't matter. Well, that's illegal. And if you want to change our asylum process, then you need to go through the proper channels. And just rounding people up with masked assholes is not the way. Because if they don't have to have probable cause or use due process, Souls, you're looking pretty Haitian today. You're looking pretty Dominican today. You're looking pretty Congolese today. Everybody can be looking whatever that agent says, and you're just gone. You know?
Mm-hmm. We have a super chat in the building. Tim says, you are getting it wrong. You have to commit large-scale fraud, then just pay off Trump and keep your illicit gains after your pardon.
You know what? I never thought of just having a Ponzi scheme. Or if I just Ponzi schemed, then I could just get pardoned.
Tonight, President Trump is sending border czar Tom Homan to Minnesota.
The boiled sausage.
So this sentiment rings amongst the masses. Here is a quite viral television personality, talking head on both Fox and CNN and other independent broadcasting channels, as well as their own. This is what Mr. Anton Daniels had to say.
Isn't our problem. You do realize that they're kidnapping Black Americans too, right? And they're just saying, oh, we thought they were African. We thought they were illegal immigrants. And then they will detain you for days.
Mikey, didn't you just say that? Like not even 45 seconds ago?
Okay. And literally, they're literally pulling over the off-duty Black and brown cops in Minneapolis.
That did happen. Yes, that's documented.
Like they're pulling over Black, like they're gonna be pulling over the mailman. You know, hey, Dark Lord Greg. Sadly, no Kava in Minnesota for Tom.
No,
he can't get another 50. I don't care. They can have all the fraud they want in Minnesota until Tom Homan gives me my fucking 50 grand back in a fucking paper bag. Everybody can do whatever they want. Fuck that.
Sometimes weeks, so that they can have their way with you in the ICE detention center while they figure out that you're an American citizen. In fact, that's exactly what happened to this lady right here. She's an American citizen. They detained her for 2 days and kept her in that detention center. And this is what they're doing with so many people. If you're not white, they will target you. If they just have a bad day, they just feel angry or feel extra racist that day, they'll target you.
Dang, the internet must be getting to this dude. He got all that gray coming out now.
That just for men is on a shipping delay.
Hey, they must be getting to him, man. They're starting to get to him.
No, you know, they got these supply chain upsets with all this shit going on. He can't get that just for men in right on time like he usually
can't come to Chicago to get it, so he's in trouble.
You, kidnap you, beat
I heard
you,
Corey got
throw you
some.
in the back of a truck, and take you to some random ICE detention center. There was one citizen that they actually deported to a whole nother country, and she was a U.S. citizen. This is no longer about left versus right. This is no longer even political. It's just straight up racism against anybody who isn't white. If it was about them not working, then why is ICE showing up to their jobs to arrest them and deport them? If it was about them not paying taxes, then why is ICE using the IRS to find them? And if it was about them not being here legally, then why is ICE waiting for them at their court hearings where they are going to follow the legal proceedings of how to become a citizen here and how to be a legal resident here? It's never been about any of that. It's always been about race. Always. If you're
Trump is so fucking dumb, bro. He over here thinking asylum seekers are people who are seeking a new mental asylum. If you go back and watch every time he says asylum seekers, he literally thinks they're talking about people who have like mental health problems. He doesn't understand what asylum is because he can't read.
So we got a question from the chat as well. Where are those videos at that he's talking about, Mikey?
Which ones? Oh, I just ran it back in the room. What was it?
The guy was talking about the people being arrested and pulled over by ICE and all that going to people's jobs.
I mean, the Target kid was the first one. They were there the first day and they dragged out a 15-year-old, took him and beat him up and then dropped him off down the street. Like that was the day one. If you can't find this stuff, I don't know if you're looking.
not white, you are their target. Right-wingers, people who support ICE are white, and they will never, ever admit that it's about race for them. They want anybody who isn't white to be beaten, kidnapped, deported. They want punishment. They want violence against anyone who isn't white. That is their goal.
Let me say this to Black people, and I want to be very clear because,
you ain't talking to me.
Again, as he said, I agree with him on one thing. This is not a Democrat versus like Republican, liberal versus conservative. Even though you may see a whole lot of liberals out there protesting and spewing hate and propaganda on the internet, it's not. What it is this is not a racism issue. This is not a classism issue. This is an issue of people not following the law. And I don't care what they tell you. I do not care what they tell you. Do not, under any circumstances, start to fall for the propaganda and believe that illegal migrants.
He doesn't know the law. I just broke down the fucking asylum process in 2 minutes. He does not know that. If you are seeking asylum in this country, you are on the books. You guys just don't know what it's called. You don't know what it is. He started using black as weapon and ended up people not white. What?
He's saying the guy in the video started off saying that black people and black people this and showing black people. And then he ended up by saying people who are not white. That's who they're targeting.
Well, I guess that's a trigger for all of the other melanated folk that are up there.
Passport Skull says, I don't want to hear anything Anton Daniels has to say about black people.
Thank you.
I am sorry. I have to play futon for this, but this does serve a purpose. We're going to keep it moving.
Instead of coming to this country, committed crimes, should be allowed to stay in this country illegally and not be deported, especially when so many people did it the right way. If it was important to do it the right way, then you would have done it the right way. You can't reverse Uno your way into doing things the right way. Now, a lot of people have gotten away with that. You also can't reverse
Uno your way into breaking the fucking law. Just because you was able to get away with it does not mean that we should continue to justify it. And what they want to do is they want to try to use black people as the poster child so that we can get involved like we have in so many other instances and stuff that does not involve us. And the reason why I say that, for as much shade as I catch, because I sound the way I do, that's just because I'm weird. We already had a meeting. We already said we're not doing that shit. Notice how we haven't been at none of this shit. You didn't get told that by your white keepers, dude. Black. Okay. If it's buzzing you, then it's buzzing you. Oh, Tim Ballon with 2 British pounds. Get detained by ICE for a few days. Let go by employer. Like this. Exactly. Because what is your job going to do when you just don't show up for 4 days? You're gone. You're gone.
Well, EJM, if you're going to say that, you have to provide a source.
They also use public transport and go to the ER when sick. Public train. You know who should be paying for that? Billionaires. Cortez. I can't. If he wants to come on and talk, but this just randomly throwing off the conversation with just random quotes that are talking about something from 10 minutes ago, we got to figure out a system here. What does that have to do with anything? If you want to come on up, come on up. Send him the link. Do whatever you got to do. But are we talking about this or are we talking about this?
He's right about one thing about the bipartisan agreement, but the agreement should be that nobody should be over here illegally, is that now they want to continue to say that Black people are being arrested. This is all hate. This is all propaganda. It has nothing to do with racism. As a matter of fact, Somalis consider themselves Black because they are from Africa. And because they want to identify a certain way so that they can then use you as a poster child like they've done so many other times. When we went through feminism and that whole movement, because the civil rights movement was hijacked by feminism and they used Black women as a face of it in order to push through things that wasn't best for Black people in general and not best for the American people. What they did was they said, y'all got to get involved. What Black people and Black culture didn't realize was that they were going to be more impacted than the people that actually took away from it and then broke up their homes and tied themselves to the federal government so that they can identify with a specific party, the Democrat Party. And so what they've done all throughout the years, right? Now they got you to break up your home, tie yourself to the federal government, go through family court, give your kid generational curses.
If you're not going to pay attention to this asshole, then I don't want to fucking
that was the
listen
party
to
of
him.
racism.
Like,
and the Republicans are the ones, the original party of Black people. And
Still
then
playing.
they pushed the diversity, equity, and inclusion and alphabet community agenda and every single other thing.
Let's address that. I've heard this. So let's address that.
Address what?
What does what he's saying have?
White supremacist is speaking white supremacy talking points. Like, why are we even fucking like? I get that you like to have the conversation, but every time people give this fucking leech air, he lives for another year. He is stupid. If you want to hear exactly what he said, go listen to Ben Shapiro. Go listen to. I need you to stay with me. You're in the chat. Stay with me, bro.
I'm listening.
Jesus Christ. I'm not doing if it's a soliloquy, then I'll just stop streaming, then you can do your thing, and then I'll do my thing. If he's only going to be like Steve Bannon Black Edition, then y'all can just go listen to Steve Bannon, right? Because he's saying the same thing.
Yes.
If your enemy and your media source are saying the same thing, maybe you're not getting your media from the right place. Perhaps.
That's not a perhaps. I think that's the facts. So, I mean, the way I view this is if I'm going to get white supremacist talking points out, then I have to be getting them from somewhere, right? Where do you get white supremacist talking points?
TV,
white supremacists, Nazis. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's plenty of evidence that there are Nazis in our government. There's plenty of evidence that there are. We've been over this multiple times. So I'm gonna address what this dude is saying. So you're telling me that it's not a Black problem.
Why address shit that's already been historically proven? This is the sucker shit. This is the trap. He is quoting shit from the 50s and 60s. We've already debunked all of this. The whole earth has moved forward. He doesn't deserve the air. We have to change the laws a minute. I hate it when people get distracted on distractors. He's the distraction. because everybody is talking about how bigoted and stupid he is and how he hates black people. That's the point. He wants you to talk. That's the trick. Fuck him. He doesn't deserve to be discussed. He's literally trying to make people not understand the history of this place. Because I mean, it was right before the show, but we were listening. There was some MLK speech stuff that we were doing.
Yep.
And it's the same shit. And that guy existed back in '68 too.
Yeah.
But when I talk about the Poor People's Campaign and that speech, everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. Like that didn't happen. Like that's not what the next step was. And instead of picking up the next step, we over here arguing with the people that was over here saying that Martin wasn't on shit. We've been left y'all.
It's been in the past.
Okay, Dred. If you think so.
Well,
my God. Sure, Souls.
So I have a question for you. What's the next step? What happens? What happens next?
At this point, if everybody isn't registered to vote, you probably should have been a long time ago. Even if you're registered Republican or whatever, but you need to be able to vote. Because
what happens when you don't vote? Like realistically, what happens when you don't vote?
You lose automatically.
So without voting, you lose because there's no representation without voting.
Okay, let's see. How many people didn't vote in 2024? 80 million? Oh, 90 million. Oh, close to 90 million. Each side got 75 and 77. So there was a whole third or larger than a third segment of the voting populace, voting age populace that just didn't vote.
Right.
So that's how the bigots win.
So
that's
they
how
won
the billionaires
because
win.
people decided that they were not going to vote anymore.
Right. Or because people believe, like Souls likes to say, that it doesn't matter who you vote for. It's the same. Clearly, it's not. Clearly, there's some difference. And while they both might be shitty, some shit is worse than other shit.
Right. I mean, guys, I put the link in the Discord a little bit ago. That's what I was doing. If you guys want to come up and talk about it, you guys can come up and talk about it. If you're a member of our Discord chat, we got like another 20 or so odd minutes, 25 minutes to talk about this. But until then, we're talking about it now. So where do you vote first? Because I think that the misconception that most people have about voting is that if you vote for the president, your vote doesn't count. And so what's the point in voting anyway? But because
you have a governor, you have a city council, you have a dog catcher, you got all kinds of shit to vote for.
All types of stuff to vote for. I would say that it starts off with your town, right? Your town government. So
Yeah,
let's say you're going to vote and you get to make a vote on which company that they decide to contract to remove your trash.
Big thing going around Illinois is a lot of these suburban towns that have like farmland. They're trying to get these tech companies are trying to get permits to put up a data center. They ain't going. And that's the thing. Like, they can't put things in your neighborhood if you guys say no. They can't get the permits to do it.
But if nobody's voting, then who makes the decisions?
Whoever the hell decides to sit in the chair, because no one's going to oppose them. So you get, I can't believe that there's so many people in Congress in their 70s, in their 80s. I think Chuck Grassley is like 90 something. Governor or Chicago mayor?
Yeah, they're different. That there's actually going to be a mayoral race soon. Uncle Plug says we just got a new data center here in Texas.
Good luck.
I did a whole episode, so I'm not going to go too much over the AI data centers and stuff like that. I did a whole episode, I think 2 episodes on AI a couple of weeks ago that got pretty into depth about what they do to the towns and the people who are involved, as well as where they're choosing to put most of them. So
Yeah.
I want people to understand something. If you fail to move to action, then the stuff that happens, you're still responsible for. You're still responsible if you don't do anything. I'm just going to sit in the middle. That doesn't help. It doesn't. There's no where that's not right. There is objective here of being not right about things. America is not supposed to be for the land of the rich or the land of the profitable. That's not what America is supposed to be. At least that's not what we were told for so many years while they had us standing up and reciting the pledge and, saluting the flag and all that stuff that we were doing for so long. America's supposed to be a place where everybody can thrive, the American dream.
Or even if we all don't get the dream, the chance to have a dream should not just be immediately thwarted because I'm just gonna stick you in the hood for generations. Like what? You can register at your DMV or at any of your Secretary of State offices around the country.
Yes, I believe it is
usually the easiest.
It's a prerequisite to sign up for the Selective Service to get a driver's license. So you also can sign up for voting in the same place at the same time if you so choose.
I was so happy I got like my grown-up license, and then I immediately moved, and I was like, finally got the 10-year license. Now I got to go back into this sit down and take another number.
That has happened to me on several occasions. Part of the reason why that's happened to me in my adult life is because the housing prices and costs have gone up tremendously compared to the wages that everyone is making. And this is also something that people should be voting about to change. Anytime the cost of buying a home in the median range right now for us it's around like 300,000 plus. And some of the same homes that originally sold for $12,000 total are now getting sold for $350,000 to $400,000 in Illinois. That is a housing crisis if I've never heard of one. Here's the biggest thing about housing crisis to me. We have more vacants than we do people who don't have homes.
Yeah, we do have more empty homes than houseless people.
So it's not a supply and demand problem. So the price is not being driven by supply and demand. And I would ask you, I'm sure you've gone over this before, but in your opinion, what causes this type of inflation, especially in the home market, when there is no demand or supply chain problem?
It is private equity, which could be controlled by your state legislature. The fact that Airbnb and Zillow and RealPage and all of these companies that are based in like Delaware, like tax haven state, Texas, tax haven states, Florida. So one company in particular I can tell you guys about. I know about them very intimately. They took out a $60 million loan from Citibank, and Citibank gave them $60 million to buy up all of the single family and starter homes in the Chicagoland area that they could. Cool. They might have had a couple of other shell companies, so they might have done this a few times concurrently. That one I can't I know that they've done it more than once, but I can't prove that all of these are connected. Not yet. One company I'm talking about, so now they have $60 million worth of homes, and now instead of charging rent like a normal person, they are looking to pay off the house that they just bought in like 5-10 years. So that is the exact reason why all of these, because they have to have returns. You see, they got to pay that money back to Citibank. So they need to have this house paid off by the time that loan money is due back. They got to return on that investment. That is the rate of increase. And the fact that they would just pay cash or whatever people were asking for the homes that they were purchasing inflates the market. So if Johnny, who lives next door, me and him both bought our houses for $200, here comes Zillow, they buy his house for $325.
$325.
So you know what I'm about to do? I'm selling my shit for $326. I'm doing the same thing. So then the only people that can afford that are private equity firms that have taken out $60 million loans to buy all the houses. So a lot of people made a lot of money off of their homes, but I got bad news. We're in for another housing bubble.
So 2008, I was working in the in for a company that was an independent contractor for the housing market, right? And I'm gonna tell you what happened. The developers, this one specifically was Newman Homes. They
don't say things, you'll get sued.
Huh?
You'll get sued. Don't say that.
Oh well, nobody's been able to find them. So they ran out in the middle of the night back to Canada, and they haven't been back since. And they left owing millions of dollars to people's unfinished homes, literally unfinished homes that people bought on these lots, and they ran out on them. Ran out on whole like you live by one. I'm not going to say which one so people don't know, but you live by one, and it ended up getting finished by a different developer. That's why half the houses over there are different than the ones that started there, is because they didn't have any of the blueprints or any of the plans. So they had to start all over again with some other developer bought their debt and decided to, at a bargain, mind you, but still mark the prices up even more than what the company did. None of the independent contractors got paid. None of them to this day.
And that's, I think, especially with all this private equity firms and these people, like, I get people flipping houses. I think flipping houses is, number one, it's not wasteful. Like, somebody spent, I don't know, a month, 2 months, 3 months, a whole team of people building a house, and then just because like it's too small or it's out of fashion or something like that, and then people, what do you want to bulldoze it and start? I like when people flip houses. You turn, you take something, you add some
watching
paint.
it on YouTube.
It's a good watch. It's better for supplies. Everybody gets some work. Everybody gets to touch the pot. It's better for the community to keep houses around and to upkeep neighborhoods. So this is great. But these motherfuckers just buy the shit in mass and then just rent it out as a slum. Oh, you have a complaint? Go ahead and call this 1-800 number, and we're going to send your ass straight to Bombay. They're going to piss you off for about 2 days, and then they'll send an escalated ticket to somebody in Alaska or some other random state, somebody that's nowhere near you. So these companies are only allowed to get away with this because they have like an office. They get like an office building in one city.
Yes.
You can make an ordinance that you are not allowed to transfer that money out of this state. All rent revenue should be spent in this state. That shuts it down.
Yes.
That shuts it down, because if they can't, they're not going to take out the $60 million loan if they know they can't bring that money that they're pumping out of Illinois because we're so rich. All the money that they're pumping out of here, if they knew that they had to keep it here, they wouldn't bother.
So,
and then we would have our housing market back.
The money is not going back into Illinois' economy.
No,
any state's particular economy.
It's getting siphoned straight out of Illinois, and then it'll wherever they spend. The company I'm talking about is headquartered in Georgia. So wherever that millionaire is spending her money, that's who's getting the benefit of all of our rent, not Illinois.
So Illinois doesn't benefit from your rent being increased every 6 months.
Nope. Actually, it's probably worse, because I mean, maybe I could get my project car going, and now I got to get new plates and insurance and all that stuff. Now I need more gas, and I'm gonna have to get more oil. But because I'm so tight on my finances, I can't do things that generate tax revenue.
Illinois taxpayers take up property tax yearly. It's bad out. Yeah, it is. It really is.
And the other part was our unions. Our unions kind of our state unions betrayed us a bit with these crooked ass pensions and these crooked ass agreements, where I think it was like their last 18 months or something like that, whatever the average of their final 18 months of their tenure was was going to be their pension payment. These mugs all said, okay, we're going to put Larry on for all overtime. We gonna just work him like a dog. He gonna cash in all of his stuff. So now these people are getting 6 figures for the rest of their life in mass. We can't afford 6 figures for all these people. Y'all didn't even make that much when you worked here. They cheated the numbers, so now we're just severe. I don't know. So something.
So that's because most of the people in unions are
what?
Don't know.
Oh, crooked or corrupt? I think I think a lot of unions are good, but I feel like there's a lot of corporate capture inside the unions where they take dues from the workers and from the members, but they don't really advocate for them, and they don't actually get off of their asses and they never fight the companies anymore.
Mikey, what would you know about unions?
Oh, a bit.
Quite a bit. Without naming the particular union, can you kind of run me down on how the union works?
I was in the grocery field for better part of 15 years, so I had to deal with a few different unions, even though they were the same union, but they were just different parts of the same. So they're very quick to jump on, I don't know, like an assistant manager or like a department head. They want to hold a whole discussion and investigation, and they want to shut down the whole everything. But when it comes to, hey, I think the people should get time and a half on Sundays, they said, actually, let's just give you guys $1.
$1.
And it's little incremental slips like that, because I mean, without unions, we wouldn't have a 40-hour work week. We wouldn't have time off and all that stuff. Like our unions used to be a lot stronger than they are today. And they actually used to tell companies what for. We didn't have all the billionaires running around like we do now, because the unions weren't having that shit, because you're going to compensate us or we're all walking out of here.
For the record, I don't think that there should be billionaires. You can quote me on that anytime you need. I don't think they serve a real purpose other than to like suck up all of the benefits and the, economy from the rest of us.
It's a money singularity.
They're literal black holes. They can't spend their money fast enough, but they keep acquiring more. Or you have people like Elon decide that he's going to take out a corporate loan for, I don't know, $4 billion just so he could buy Twitter.
Yeah, that worked out great. No long-term effects.
I mean, here's the thing. If you have that much money, couldn't you just develop your own?
He doesn't know how to do anything. Like, I need everybody to stop glazing Elon. Like, he's kind of dumb. And now that he's on all these drugs, he's real stupid now. Like, he's
a Nazi.
He's real bad at being smart. He had every opportunity to do something great with his life, and he has jizzed it off every time. People don't want pornography and neo-Nazi literature right next to their advertisements. What do you have to say about that, Elon? Fuck them. Okay. Oh, guys, you can't just stop paying me advertising. Like, he literally said it, but this is what happens when you deal with a basehead, with somebody who's constantly on drugs. They make crazy decisions.
Mikey, Elon never did that. Elon never did that. What, right? He didn't do that, right?
Oh, did you see the other angle from like over his right shoulder? Bro, it is so not. It is so not. And they were like, he felt smart. He's like Einstein. He felt smart. Man, y'all are crazy. Crazy.
Bro, he knew what he was doing.
Look at he biting his bottom fucking lip.
He's ready.
I ain't never seen nobody wave and bite the bottom lip and snap the elbow so that his little jacket was popping. His little buttons clacking against the damn lectern. He talking about I was just waving.
He was just waving at who like that?
The people way in the back.
Right. So that's what we're choosing to do, right?
This is, but hey, this guy is the same guy who, hey, by the way, everybody out there, your social security information, he got that.
Isn't that the same?
His dad was a Nazi.
That's the same, right?
His dad was a Nazi, missed the Nazi party. So then he moved to South Africa from Canada to be with the apartheid. He liked apartheid South Africa. He's like, you guys are treating the blacks pretty bad down there. They like that shit. So now y'all are like, oh, Elon's our friend. Who the hell told you that? I'm not saying all white South Africans are Afrikaners, but I know one for sure. That one.
Yeah.
He's not ashamed of it. Just ask him. Ask his daddy. Go watch some of his daddy's interviews. Whew.
Why would you want us to do a thing like that?
He is a real treat over there.
So, I mean, don't believe me. Don't believe Mikey. Just I don't know. Believe him himself.
Christy in the chat says, breaking news, EU launches inquiry into X over sexually explicit images made on Grok AI. Yeah, who's out there churning out CSAM.
Yeah, finally.
South Africa. Elon Musk, you better tell your ugly ass daddy watch his mouth, because this ain't South Africa. Elon Musk's daddy was on CNN doing an interview, and they said, for the first time in American history, in 20 years, white people will be minorities in America. And he said, why you want to go do that? You don't like cars? You don't like cars? You don't like stability? You want to go back?
He said that. That's the truth. He said it.
That's him. Yeah, look at him.
When sort of white people go from South Africa, out of South Africa, to places like the United States in those days, possibly also to England, you sort of immediately kind of felt you had to, swear you never had anything to do with apartheid, and you joined the most liberal sort of groups. Liberal's a nice word. I don't like that word. The sort of weirdo sort of left groups that you could find to sort of prove that you were not a person who supported apartheid.
We never supported apartheid,
really, but it was something we inherited from the European countries. When sort of white.
Yeah, he wanted to say it so bad. He said he never saw oppression during apartheid.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk's
Hold on
dad.
real quick.
I got you.
4% of the population owns, what was it? Golly. I think it was 40% of the land, period. And then 80% of the farmable land. 4%.
4%.
Guess which 4%?
I'm sure we know. I'm sure we know.
Guess which demographic?
I'm sure we know. It ain't
in
Like
Africa.
it ain't
in Africa.
It ain't the indigenous.
I got to give it to this guy. He doesn't pull any punches. His racism is right in your face. I love that ignorant shit. I mean, he serves it on a hot plate. His racism is like, whoo, steaming racism right there. He don't hide it. He doesn't do that passive aggressive shit that people do. He gives it to you right in your face. And that's why I respect his ass, because we know where we stand with this crazy motherfucker who got his stepdaughter pregnant, right? The guy asked, this interview asked, in about 20 years, white people will be like the minority in America, 48%. He goes, oh, that would be a very, very bad thing. Very bad thing. I mean, bad thing to happen. You want to see this in the U.S. to go down? Huh? You want to see it go down? You don't like cars, electric cars, technology? This is bad.
For the goat.
You want to go back to the jungle? I mean, this is what he said. Then he goes, like in South Africa, the small majority of white people, we bring our European culture to Africa. What culture are you talking about? Stealing people's shit and claiming it as yours, and then dehumanizing the people that are around you that look different than you? What culture are you talking about?
Pause.
Fact that a white South African,
and then paying black people to speak against their own self-interest. Ta-da! The final cherry on top. Also, I will make learning stupid. It is uncool to know things. Be stupid with us. Be dumb with us. Don't learn things. Learning is dumb. Be stupid. Be angry about everything and stupid. This is all part of their plan. All part of it.
I mean, he's saying it.
You can say that about South Africa is so sick to me, because they got that town, I told you, called Orania, where they don't allow black Africans there. You move to a black continent and don't allow black people to come to your town that you established. Yeah, I hope they do a Tulsa move on that. I hope that town burns down. I think that's fucking horrific. But anyway, this is Elon Musk, man. He's like, no, this is a bad thing. It's a bad thing. Go back to the jungle. You mean America? You don't want America to go back to its natural color, right? Which was Native American. That was brown motherfuckers all up, you know, America and Canada. Yeah, it was all brown. You know, whites were the first immigrants.
Uh-oh.
Where are you, ICE? You were the first immigrants. Yes, you were. You understand? So I think that's pretty fucked up that he said that it would go back to the jungle, man. You know who he's talking about, huh? I give him that credit for being honest, and that's why you see how Elon is. I just think my technology is the best. I just think it's best. It's the best thing, you know. Now you see where the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree, guys. That shit was gangster, boy. You know. But hey, there's nothing you can do about it because, by the way, technology. Lots of Black Americans contribute to technology in America. A lot of other brown people contribute to America and how it's moved forward. Plain and simple. Elon Musk.
Regardless of what anybody's stance on economics is, you have to be able to sit forward, tell the truth, and talk amongst ourselves and say that this is a problem. You have to. If you don't believe that it's a problem, then why are you so proud to be an American? Because if you go back 30, 40, 50, 60 years, those Americans will be appalled at what's going on right now. You have white supremacy running rampant throughout our country. You have Black apologists spouting white supremacist talking points all over the internet, and all we're doing is reinforcing it and backing it up. I don't know how many of your parents, grandparents, or great-grandparents marched with the freedom fighters or the leaders. I don't know how many of your people went to the rallies for the Black Panther Party. I don't know how many of your people were involved in the Underground Railroad at such a time, or, you know, oppression in the South, or the Jim Crow era, or any of these things, or even just segregation in general. How many of your family members did you speak to when you were growing up about these issues? How many people needed to be lost? There's no coincidence that in the civil rights era, so many leaders were gunned down, taken out, assassinated, removed their voice from the population, and then sanitized in such a way that we can have a memorial day about them and their names and misattribute the things that they actually said and stood for. It isn't right. And I'm going to tell you guys, just the other day, I put up the speech. And I think for the purposes of this conversation, I'm going to do it again.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say, we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around.
Look at them white people.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last speech that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave publicly. It was very, very telling as to how if someone was to go on a stage right now and give the exact same speech, that it would be just as true today as it was some odd 60 years ago.
You know who was probably in that room or listening to it on the radio at home? A young Bernard Sanders.
A young Bernard Sanders.
Who I think a couple of years after that was photographed being arrested because he chained himself to a black woman because they wouldn't desegregate the housing.
Yes.
At the college.
Yes. It's a shame what the DNC did to Bernie when he was winning, and they chose to go with Hillary. That was horrible. See, guys, this is something that I will explain to you guys one time and one time only, and I probably won't speak on it too much more after this. Anytime that someone approaches me and tries to call me a Democrat, I lose it.
No,
I'm not a Democrat. I am not a Democrat. Mikey, are you a Democrat?
Hell no.
For the record.
Hell no.
I have not been a Democrat for quite some time. I have not been a Republican for quite some time. I am neither. I am not a centrist. I am neither. I am none of those things. I'm not a fence sitter. I believe in rights. I believe in equality. And I do not believe that the government should be allowed to oppress anyone despite the color of their skin, the content of their character, where they come from, where they live, how much money they grew up with, or even their assumed past. You should not be able to bring up something from 25 years ago and try to use it to condemn someone today. You shouldn't do that. These are just the things that we're dealing with on a daily basis. Sure enough, we're going to find out something about these people that ICE are murdering in the streets that would make someone believe that they deserved it. I don't understand how someone driving away from a protest deserves to get shot 3 times in the face. I don't understand how a man who's defending a woman against 6 or 7 armed individuals of questionable origin deserves what he got. And all of some over 150 names that I had to have on my shirt during the movement formerly known as Black Lives Matter before the organization took over. There is a difference, guys, and I've said this before. Maybe you guys need to go back and watch videos. But I am an American in America, and I want America to be a better place. And I think the most American thing about being an American is wanting your country to do better in all areas, especially when it comes to the melting pot that we're supposed to be. So before I go into housekeeping, Mike, you got anything?
Trying to find the clip for it. Damn it. Because it was from the same speech, but he talks about. Sorry. I usually know.
Chat. I'll do this while we wait.
Shit. I just clicked my toolbar on accident. Damn it.
Not the toolbar.
And it took my search away. Anyway. But it's either that same speech or the day right after. I'm pretty sure it's the same speech. It's the one from 68. His last one. But he starts it off talking about how like Black people have a lot of buying power. It's not as much as other demographics are, but we have a lot. And I think he said in that speech from 68, at that point, the buying power of American Blacks was the same as a lot of the larger countries in Europe, than England, than France. Spain. The black dollar is that big, and it's bigger now than it was back then.
Yes, it is.
Use the tools available to you. I mean, look at Target. You thought we was playing? Yeah,
Nope.
the Memphis speech. Yeah, you thought we was playing Target? Target is down 48% year over year. That is a death sentence. They are in 100% scramble mode right now.
Yes.
They are free. And you've seen they just give out their little swag bag, and all they had was some dusty Uno cards to give to people. Ain't no money coming in.
Martin and Malcolm both said that. So you guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow. I have a special planned on Martin and Malcolm, titled Martin and Malcolm, that I'm going to do for tomorrow. We didn't have enough time to finish up with it today. That was the next segment, but we're going to continue with it tomorrow as we move away from Martin Luther King Day, which was on Monday, this past Monday, and we move forward into February, which is known in America as Black History Month. And just like we did for Men's Mental Health Month, I will be doing a segment each and every single day on Black History Month and the Black History leaders, all of them that I can find.
They finna change this shit to fucking Elvis month.
You know,
whoever the biggest cultural appropriator is, the fucking Justin Bieber month. It's gonna
last
be
year. It was not acknowledged by this administration, and it really pissed me off that this administration did not acknowledge it last year. So, without further ado, I want you guys to show back up tomorrow. But here, Mikey, before we do that, can you please drop in the link for all of the people watching that are not watching through your link, how to find you on the BIN podcast?
Yes, please go to our YouTube. It's the BIN Podcast Network. You'll see a very cool logo made by local artists. Yeah, we stream. Our main show is Tuesdays and Thursdays, headliners. We start at 11 Central. And then we have our food show. If you guys need to decompress in the middle of the week, we just watch delicious and disgusting food shows and get some food culture from around the world. Tuesday night we play tabletop role-playing games. Last week was D&D, and then we're also playing Delta Green and Unboxed Politics, everyone's favorite show, where we take political videos and we give them a ranking system, and then at the end of the year we have the playoffs and we find the best and worst videos of the year. I think last year RFK won the loser side, and I think Charlie Angus and
we look good.
Someone else.
We look good right there.
Yo, T crushed it, man. My goofy ass face. I'm like, look at this rascal.
Yeah, we look good
at this.
right there.
Look at this guy.
I miss that haircut every day. Every day.
I was calling him Mayor Cortez Johnson.
I miss that haircut.
I'm surprised.
Day.
The Westbrook. I'm surprised y'all gave up the Westbrook without a fight. Y'all would have had to fight
I
that
had
one off.
to, man. I had gotten a new job and they didn't like it. So guys, this is the rest of the Raw Society Coalition. That is where you can find a bunch of different shows from a bunch of different creators, and these creators are all listed right here. Some of them were in the chat today. If you guys want to check them out and see what they're talking about, and some of the rebuttals I'm sure we're going to receive. You have the Classic Codes, Souls of Thought, Uncle Plug TV, the lovely Conversations with Soft Rain, and then there's me, the Tez Down. So if you guys are watching on other areas, I'm at the bottom. I'm the Tez Down. Click me.
The link is in the description. The link is in the.
Yes,
I put it
just in the description for the Tez Down. Come watch the Tez Down. I have a video for you guys on the show that we are doing live that I'm pretty sure Mikey will be at. If you guys want to come and get autographs from Mikey at the show, please make him autograph you.
$100 per autograph.
Please make him autograph your shirts and your hoodies. It's gonna be a night. This is not gonna be a debate night, guys. So I'm just letting you guys know that from the beginning. This is not gonna be a debate night. This is a night full of laughs, loves, and all of everything.
Any type of way. That's a parlay you could take to them. I'm having that aura. I got that glow. They hate it worse when they know that you know. Walk in the room like I'm covered in gold. I used to suppress it, was about to implode. I used to suppress it, was about to explode. Sore thumb in the room everywhere that I go. Black sheep for the fam, used to think something was wrong. Took a little time to realize I was chose. Took a little time to realize I was special. Ever since birth, been a cold under pressure. Wanna be great, gotta do a little extra. That's why I grind with obsession. Everything about me irregular. Everything about me is pressure. Maximum effort. No box left unchecked on get treated like a milli tank. Southpaw like I'm really tank. I do things that they really.
Make sure you guys save the date on that. Also, yes, Roxy, if you bring something that is Nightmare Before Christmas, make sure it's Zero or the Pumpkin King, and Mikey will sign it. He will sign all of it all night.
Come here. Thank you guys for worrying about my TV. I was watching the monitor. No, that's my coffee table. She is beating the shit out of my coffee table. For no, come here, little dog. I got your Nightmare Before Christmas. Come here, little dog. Where are you? Oh, he underneath me. Not move. Come here. You hear me calling you? Now you don't know how to come on. Come here. You're not in trouble.
So that is B Class. That is B Class, aka the Classic Codes. That is the concert that's gonna also be a part of this event. Hey Zero. You guys
this
can
is Zero.
B Class Classic Codes or on SoundCloud at B Class Music. She said you should bring Zero. What's up, Zero?
I could. He's a ESA.
So guys, if you guys didn't know, we'll give you a little bit of this because we like to do this from time to time. Mikey helped me save Zero's life. I was in my home alone with a newborn child that had just gotten delivered recently, just got out the NICU, literally the first day home, that Zero's parents, Zero's mother decided she was going to go in labor. Mind you, I'm a young man, never had a child before, never seen dogs even be born before, and she decides to give birth to all of these dogs in my kitchen at 6 a.m. And I called Mikey, Mikey used to live down the street from me. I called Mikey and I'm like, Mikey, I got a baby and I got baby dogs. He's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, there's a bunch of them. I don't know what to do. They're still attached to the sex because her mother didn't want to, I don't know. She just didn't seem very interested in being a mom at that point. And she was just chilling. And she didn't bother taking them out of their amniotic sacs. So Mikey came over and me and Mikey handled it pretty good. We cleaned up all the blood off the floor and Mikey said, you see that one right there? That one's mine. He got his name the same day. The rest of the pups didn't get names, but he did.
Oh boy.
Aww. Well, guys, I think
I'm out of time.
That is our cue to get out of here. So without further ado, make sure you guys check on the Ben Podcast and all of the constituents of the Raw Society Coalition. I'm Tez. I'm 24. This is the Tez Down. You've been here. We've helped you learn some new stuff today. Come back tomorrow for the special, the MLK and Martin and Malcolm special. I would love to see you guys there. Chat, you've been wonderful. Thank you guys for coming through. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Also, like the channel. We get 100 views and no likes. It's crazy. Somebody help me out there. Mikey, what do you always say at the end of yours?
Oh, drink your me.
I'm the Tez. I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the Tez Down. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the Tez Down.
Party time.